Toxicon.
I did hear from Viral just now, though.
How's he doing?
He's got an interview, so I'm guessing that's in Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where
Oh
he
shit!
would
He
live.
living
Yeah.
next to me. Cool.
He moved like on the 27th or something.
Yeah, 27.
Is it because of the state
Almost
down
2
in
weeks.
Yeah.
his old home? Oh no. Well, maybe we can meet up and have coffee with him.
Yeah.
Live right, if he's gonna be living in Seattle, that's pretty close.
All right. I'm going on to slide 2, page 2. It's not a PowerPoint, Randy.
Bring a bag of apples. With
Why
you.
is it not a PowerPoint Pro? I was excited for
Because it's
PowerPoint.
Google. I don't know.
Because it's
called
Google?
Google.
Because they make fun of him for PowerPoint.
Yeah, and
It's my
spreadsheets.
goo goo doc.
Okay. So what we're going to talk about, basically this will be like a half-hour-ish meeting, hopefully.
Oh my god.
Maybe 3 hours. I don't know.
Ah!
The itinerary. Nice.
So if you haven't heard,
lectures.
Classic Vanilla is coming. It's
Is
happening.
this the best theme you could pick?
This is a custom theme. Oh my gosh, Randy.
That's custom?
Well, it was like really terrible looking, so I just added a few.
So you just
I changed the
threw it in
color.
the mud and shit on it?
Yeah. Dude, I put this together in like the last 45 minutes. You see our old WoW picture. Anyhow, Classic Vanilla is coming. If you didn't hear, they announced it in November. Pretty exciting. We don't really have much news, but more to talk about there when we get to it. We're going to do, if you haven't already done your main or alt, like what you're going to roll, prefer if you fill that thing out. You'll see a link here in a few.
Yeah, I was gonna say you just announced this. How could we have filled this out?
Well,
It was
it was
like a month
ago.
ago.
We did it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I didn't
know that Classic
Just
WoW was
bringing it
coming.
all on us right now.
We have we are going to be getting our own domain name for our website, and with the donations that people have given, I think it was like $100 we got. It will help for initially setting up everything. So we're going to be voting on the name tonight. There's like 10 different choices, and we're going to talk about what we're currently doing in the future, which most of you already know who are in TeamSpeak with us, who are gathered here today. And looking for
Listen
some
to Wedding
help.
Pronator.
Oh, yeah, no. Looking for some assistance with a few things if anyone has the inkling to do some techie stuff. And then we're gonna go around the horn with any questions or comments.
Inkling.
Horn?
Yeah. Alright, so on to the next page. Just some good links. If you haven't checked them out, I would highly suggest, first of all, participating in the official Blizzard forums. They're looking for, they say they're looking for like information as to what we prefer with vanilla. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of really terrible talk too. So if you want to participate, I'd highly suggest it, because we're the ones that actually have played vanilla recently. Even though it's a bastardized version, it's still, we still have a pretty good idea of what would be great. These 2 links, the BlizzCon links, are just really cool initial concepts to look at from the BlizzCon that they held, showing their initial like designs and thoughts behind actually making the game, like in the classes and things like that. I highly suggest watching them, especially the character class one is really cool. The bottom link is to like the initial interview that I think Brack had, and then the announcement itself is there. It's really, if you haven't watched the announcement, it's really cool. Definitely worth a watch. And watch it like 10 times, definitely.
How many times have you watched it, Pro?
What's up?
Like 10 or 20.
What's up?
Hey,
How many times have you cried,
What
bro?
up?
Message sent.
Yeah, me too.
Oh wait, there really is
Like
a
your dick wasn't
spreadsheet?
all the way
I mean, there
hard,
really
but
is
it was
a,
like filling up with blood.
there
What's
really is
this?
a slideshow.
What's this video about? Yeah,
There's
it's
actually a slideshow.
Where was the news that said it's coming out in
I am
November?
now.
Oh.
And it was the biggest thing in all of BlizzCon. I think it was the biggest thing.
Page. Next one we'll see. You got the link there for actually voting on. I guess it's not voting. It's like what you want to roll with your mains and alts. Just to give us a good idea. At this point, like, I don't know how many will be with us, how many people, but we definitely still want to look at, like, you have to, whatever you play, you have to be able to perform on it. That's going to be a kind of big thing. You also have to have fun on it, obviously. And you should kind of already know how to play it. And, like, I mean, you're more than welcome to try something new.
If you want to play a tank,
Warrior
you have to talk to
DPS.
me first because there's strict rules for tanks.
Yeah. But the idea
See,
is
I
to
signed that
have,
list and I don't even remember what I wrote on there.
I think you were Death Knight.
Okay.
Pedophile.
Peter File.
Hey, there's a kid in
Basically,
here once
if
in a
you
while.
can't commit 100%, don't be a tank.
Yeah, pretty much that's the main rule. Which we should have Fyro and Michael for sure. Jerk, potentially. And
Japanese Fury
some
Warrior.
others. Alright, we'll move on to the straw poll website name. So go ahead and click on that link, or someone post that in TeamSpeak so we can click on it from there and vote on it.
Can I vote for 2?
What link am I clicking on?
No, I can't.
I'd rather you not vote for 2 because that makes it harder.
ToxicGuild.us, America. America.
I think we should do a multi-vote. Like the top 3 or 4 responses, re-vote again. And remove all the other ones that didn't get
How about we do like a Sweet 16?
There's only 10 there.
We'll come up with 6 more.
I don't think he came up with these. These are the options available.
Oh, there's more.
I mean,
these are the ones you like the most.
And also, if you have a suggestion, but like most, like obviously Toxic dot anything is out, like they're thousands of dollars to get those kinds of names.
Somebody just needs to pony up.
Great. Yeah, Toxic.com, $8,000. Anyone want to pony up? Come on, Jevin. Put that bull of yours to work.
I'm a teacher.
Ask for sponsors.
Yeah, do a fundraiser at your school.
Yeah, get sponsorship.
It's Girl Scout cookie time. There's no sponsors available.
All right. And this isn't like for sure, but it gives us a good idea.
We should take
Hopefully
those
it's gonna
top
be
5 answers, the ones that didn't have any votes, and remove them. Oh, I guess
Wops
it's
joined.
Didn't roll, so.
Dwops joined.
There, Dwarves can help too.
Dude, what?
I'm here for the
Message
Look,
sent.
meeting. Yeah, look at there. It's not just Wrath meeting. There's what's this thing? There's a PowerPoint.
Message sent.
Yeah, PowerPoint.
It's Google Point.
Google Point Power. Terry and Vic should be in here. Vic said he's gonna play Glass Eye.
Yeah, I assume they're in some heated PUBG match.
Aren't they all heated?
My friend that got #1 in duels in a duo, whatever on PUBG, his account got hacked and he's fucking done.
Nice.
Well, his email address that he has everything linked to got hacked, so he lost control of like 4 different games. Are we supposed to be voting?
Yeah.
I already voted, Pro. That's the first one. I
There's
voted
9
for
votes.
none of the above.
Did you put James Earl Jones on yours?
But Rick James,
James
Darth
enjoys
Vader.
him. He wasn't Darth Vader, he was white. Darth Vader is white.
What slide are we on? Sorry, I was on the phone.
The website naming
I
slide.
need a number.
Yeah, I don't
What's
have
the
a number.
Ah, your
Number
number's a
5.
slide.
Number 5.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't have a number. You made the damn thing, bro. Are we voting? Not yet. I haven't been here. I was on the phone.
Give me 30 seconds. More in Rocket League here.
Just close it. Rocket League is awesome.
Oh, I don't know.
Selling that go for $110, Aniva.
why don't we get Aniva's subscribers to pay for our .com?
All is like 10.
Well, we just got to pick in, a grand to eat. Awesome extra.
Yeah.
Like $1 million a month, so somewhat around there.
Give or take.
980,000.
One of the things that I was thinking of was, one, we probably don't want to restrict it to just like vanilla, and two, since we do play like a whole lot of other games, I thought it would be kind of cool to branch out, but the Toxic WoW kind of doesn't allow that, but it still looks really good, I guess.
I don't like gaming in a name. Sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're hot micing.
Still.
I didn't hear it.
Is Officer Hot Mike?
It's an opposite hot.
You were poked by Randy.
Well,
I liked the toxicwow.com because it just looks more formal with the .com in my mind.
Yeah.
But U.S. is America.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we're not America, so.
We are America.
Is it really U.S. is America, or is it us? Like
Yugoslavia.
It's us. Oh,
Uranian sphincter.
Alright, let me set up a new one with the top answer. The top 5, you said?
Well, I guess it doesn't make a difference if the other ones didn't get voted for. People are still gonna vote for the same ones. So maybe the top 3, but
We'll just do top 3. The ones that had only 1 vote, we'll just count out.
Code out.
Message received. Message sent. Message sent.
I'll click on mine probably.
Just need one person to vote for Toxic WoW. Never mind.
I thought Toxic WoW was gonna run away with it.
Me too.
I gotta vote again. I'll be the decider. Oh,
I voted.
no. Ugh. I demand a revote.
This is very, very close. Alright, in all honesty, who picked the gaming one? Because Val doesn't like gaming.
No group with the name gaming ever sticks around, nor do they ever put more than like a few chips into 1 or 2 games.
I'm really leaning to toxic-wow.com because I do really like how that
By
looks.
Birdie.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I agree, it's the most aesthetically pleasing,
Yeah.
but it does lock us into WoW only guild, which
Yeah.
I don't really care, but
Well,
some people might.
We'll
I
just
guess
have a different domain for a different game.
You were
it
poked by
locks you
Birdie.
in, doesn't. I mean, you could always have a different website if you really get to that, like that involved in something else, you know. But yeah, I'll decide that in the next few days probably.
nice.
Here's a real quick results. Here's our first poll in the votes, and we turned it down to the final 3. And here's the vote. I might put this on the website and vote more for everyone, or I might just decide on my own. I'm still not sure. But anyhow.
What about like a made up word like Google or something? What about Google.com?
That sounds dumb. Alright, moving on to the next slide, slide 6. A current situation, what we're doing in the future. Currently we're playing on the Ice Crown Wrath server. It's fun. Wrath is fun. It's very face roll compared to compared to vanilla. Obviously, it's a lot of AoEing, big time, which you're not really used to. You can definitely tell. I don't know. I really enjoy playing it just for this fact that I can read, like, tell how much they started breaking it, you know, like threat and DPS and like with us leveling there, like fresh 80s versus geared 80s are just ridiculously different. Like skilled players versus not skilled, it doesn't matter as long as you have the gear, you know, kind of thing. but we're still having fun, and we started doing like ICC last week. Killed a couple bosses, had some fun, old memories. If you haven't heard, K3 Kronos 3 is coming out March 31st. This, everything that we do from now until Classic WoW is announced will be kind of, I don't want to say casual, but not like, hardcore.
But casual.
Taking with a
Yeah,
grain of
kind of,
salt.
yeah, exactly. Like we're not gonna really focus on it or like put much effort into it. Just have more just for fun. Because we know as soon as the classic is actually announced and released, we're all in there and everything else is pretty much by the wayside. But anyhow, Kronos 3 is coming out with a new vanilla server at the end of March. There's their current itinerary and plans. The timeline is a little silly because it's so long. Since most people were expecting Blizzard to actually release probably in either this summer or this winter.
Yeah, they should have had it be like really super short.
Yeah.
Blow through it.
This is like a 17-month timeline, which...
I'm pretty sure Kronos is one of the people said that they're not going to shut down when Blizzard comes out, so I don't think they'd really care.
Yeah. Kronos is tied to Twin Star, and they're very much into the other expansions as well. But I mean, we played on K2. It was a fairly good server compared to other servers. And of course, we get Chubbins back as,
The only GM in Guild? Yeah.
Will he actually be a GM again?
No, he'll never do it again. His words, not mine. But anyhow, this is, I think most of us are planning on at least just messing around there, maybe leveling, maybe not all the way to 60, maybe all the way to 60. We'll just kind of see how it goes. I think temporarily the plan is not to do any sort of raiding there, more like just dungeoning and gearing. I think it would be a lot of fun to like actually do a lot more PvP as we level, so we can like kind of get a feel for like actually doing it for real and like having less skills or whatever and still being able to PvP and do well. But yeah, that's a temporary plan, I think, for now.
Yeah.
So that puts us currently raiding Wrath like 1 or 2 days a week, and then when vanilla that comes out. I don't know what we're gonna do with the Wrath server.
No, just kind of what we do with all the other servers we play on.
Yeah, just quit
just
them.
abandon it.
And we're playing other games, and if you have other games in mind that you want to play, definitely let us know. One other game that Val mentioned I would like to do again is Rust. It was a fun game.
Arc.
Yeah, Ark's another one that I think we would like to get into.
Scum when it comes out.
Scum.
Pathetic timed out.
Never heard.
You can check it out on YouTube.
Anyhow, we'll move on to slide 7. So one thing that I was thinking we need assistance for is coming up with lists of all the gear by patches and like their stats and how good they are, what like weight we give them, where they are in the best in slot order and stuff like that. Basically, we want to streamline the whole process to figure out if people are like if their gear is holding them back or where they should be on DPS based on their gear and everything like that. See if basically to give a good judgment of your skill level versus gear level versus what you're able to, what you should be able to do. If you're interested in creating add-ons with me, there's plenty of vanilla stuff. We're not sure if Blizzard is going to actually have the original add-on creation ability, or if they're going to change it up to be new which if they change it up, a lot of the newer add-ons are like much more efficient and a lot better. But there's some newer add-ons that just kind of like play the game for you more or less, which we don't really want either. And then also I want help picking like the best in class add-ons, basically. Like what's the best rating add-on, what's the best ability to see this as a healer, what's, you know, to track my debuffs or cooldowns or this or that. And I'd like to compile that all together, and definitely could we could get really deep into it, but who knows what Blizzard actually does, so we'll play that by ear. But if you're interested in helping out with any of this, please let me know.
Anybody keeping track of how many times Pro says Inkling tonight?
He's recording, yeah.
Then to the last page, which I thought GSO would really like, the picture.
I don't get it.
It's around the horn, get it?
Oh,
We'll just go.
I kind of get it.
Just if you guys have any questions or whatever, just go one by one through everyone, or comments, or like want to say something. So I'll start in just TeamSpeak, and Chabin, you're up.
Huh?
You're up.
I don't have any questions.
Comments, things to look forward to.
Yes, actually. Are we going to do any kind of like progression type stuff on the Wrath server or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have been doing it.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean like some hard shit.
We did ICC.
Isn't there like a hard mode of that?
You
There's
can't do
25
it
man
until
heroic.
you have to kill the Lich King before you can unlock the hard modes.
Oh, okay. Also, I'm kind of wanting to know what other people are going to do in terms of classes. So do we have somewhere where we have that posted? The results of when everybody filled out that sheet the first time?
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out what class I'm going to play.
Are you just gonna make one of everything?
Not at first. Pro told me I wasn't allowed.
Yeah. I mean, you're more than welcome to make like one main and one alt if you want to. Like,
You
like
can't tell
Verdian.
me how to play. If I want to make 5 characters right off the bat, I'm going to make 5 characters right off the bat.
I mean,
you
you could
tell me.
You could do whatever you want, but we also want to get like an alt raid thing going relatively early on. So it'd be ideal if you have like both leveled.
Okay, well, are we going to
two.
focus on like trying to get a group like really fast through the content so we can start stockpiling the guild bank, or what?
I mean, these are the sort of questions that we want to iron out in the next couple of months. But ideally, I think the general consensus is 60 as fast as possible, and
because that's going to make a difference on whether I 2-box from the start or just one character until he's
right.
Are we gonna start early recruiting on the forums, or?
Yeah, as soon as we get like more information, we'll probably get like maybe a video, and hopefully have the new website up, and then have like an actual really good recruitment post, and then eventually we'll have to find what server we want to play on, if they actually announce the server lists, or if that's like a launch day thing.
And then what about like situation where we pick a server and guild name's taken, we go to the server, guild name's taken, are we going to keep jumping until we get our guild name?
I would be very, very surprised if our guild name is taken.
Yeah, so the key to that is 10 of us have to hit level. Well, one of us has to hit level 10 as fast as possible, has to get 10 silver. That's assuming they don't change this, and then creates the guild charter and gets it all signed.
I think probably the hardest part of that is going to be getting into the server at launch.
Now, most people aren't gonna like be rushing to 10 to get a guild going. Most
So are
are
we
just
gonna
gonna keep
power level
rushing.
someone, group power level someone to 10 fast? Is that what we're planning on doing?
No,
I
I think
power level is going to work.
I'm pretty certain, yeah, just a person level, like pro or myself or anybody who's going hard.
I think
Brandon
we're
would be, well,
yeah, one of us is gonna be within the top like 5% of the actual like first to 10 or whatever.
I'm already
I
taking
would
like 2
imagine.
weeks off, so I'm planning on getting a whole bunch of like caffeine ready to go. And
I'm gonna take a vacation.
Man, it's gonna be a whole lot of circle jumping.
there's gonna be lots of circle jumping. You just wait till, oh man. So I did that for Mr. Pandera launch so that I could level up at the start and try and go for like the server first. And we were like getting like loopy after, because after everyone power leveled up to getting up to max level, then we all went right into doing dungeons, and then we did all the dungeons, and I stayed up for like 2 days, and then we were all like, oh, it was fucked. Found a lot of weird fights.
Okay, and would anybody be interested in putting together some kind of, for our core group that we have, for a page on our website that lists some contact information? Because I was trying to get a hold of some people this week, and I don't know their numbers unless they were officers.
Yeah. We should definitely do that.
Like to ask what they want to do, or because we
No, just
Are you gonna be
in
on?
general, like hey, like how does go play something else today, or this week or whatever. Just keep that relationships built, that kind of thing.
right.
Keep people in touch, word
Yeah,
of
I
mouth.
was hoping more people would kind of hang out, and instead of like the little kind of clique that we tend to be.
Fine, I'll stop coming in. Jeez.
In terms of numbers, I don't know if that's something that people would want out there on the web for anyone to see.
That's what I'm saying. Is put it up there. If somebody wants to put it in, they can. Email address at least. I mean, everybody's got 25 fake emails, I guess, like me, but I'm sure they got one that they don't care if somebody knows.
All right. Yeah, I could do that. But a lot of the classic discussion we're going to be doing the next few months as well. So a lot of your like questions and everyone's questions are, we don't really know. We haven't really discussed too
Expect
much.
more slideshows.
Oh yeah.
Are we going to go back to class leaders?
That was something I wanted to talk about, because I think that there should be class leaders.
Yeah.
And I think the class leaders should be doing way more, not in the sense of way more other things, but way more into their own class than what they did on NOS. And I want it to be more of a, not like an honorary officer role. I want it to be a true officer role of their class, where what they say for their class goes.
For
But
the
they
most
also
part,
need to be a lead by example type person.
for the most part, we have officers playing most of the classes, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also have those officers doing things like recruiting and
yeah, but you don't want to have 18 out of 40 people be officers in a raid.
No, there'll be 8.
Yeah, and one other thing that we're talking about potentially doing is having like a besides raider rank, like a step above it. Something like if you're always giving 110%, something like that. And going above and beyond, like making sure the guild stays stocked on this consumable or that consumable, or helping farming things, or doing this and that. We'll have I think that would be healthy to keep it competitive, and then maybe have like small perks. We'll probably end up having certain items being more like loot council or
Blackwing Lair trinkets.
Yeah, because there's issues we ran into where we'd have people that always were there, but because of their attendance being like so stellar, but their performance being kind of like they were still dead. They were still given like 100% of like their DKP,
Yeah,
which
Michael.
No,
No,
we
they
all
deserve
we all
shit.
know who he's talking about.
Yeah, me. God.
yeah, we won't name names, but some warlocks just got everything.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow,
Except skill.
But
Like
yeah,
shopping.
yeah.
Yeah.
Things- It's the only way we can do the system properly with DKP because there's too many faults with just a straight DKP and a straight loot council system.
I'd like to make it so it's so streamlined that there's no like.
Well, that's what the class leader thing's going to be coming into place. Where
Oh, you're gonna get some bickering.
predetermined like class,
Jay
like
Cutler
all
Lol
class
joined.
specific items will be predetermined.
Wait, Randy
well
was a
before the
warlock.
item
Cutler
drops.
Lol joined.
Like class leaders are going to be in charge of making sure that their class knows that, like, if the Arcanist bindings drop or what if something drops, blah blah blah, who's it going to, blah blah blah, and there's no questions, there's no nothing, and the item drops, it's just handled.
Are you guys council?
For certain things, but no. Overall, it'll be
Yeah, that's
DKP.
that brings up a great note because one of the issues that we had in the past is just like the time that it takes to give loot out. Sometimes it's just ridiculous.
Maybe someone will make an add-on.
Already has one.
251 DKP, 252 DKP.
I know, exactly.
253 DKP.
But yeah.
So you're basically saying DKP for the base items and then loot counselor for like the important shit?
It's DKP for like 90% of the items, and then
Yeah, you're still gonna
loot
get
council
charged
for
a proper amount.
I like
and
that.
loot-
Like
yeah.
DFT.
It's just like so.
you
Yeah,
automatically get it.
DFT is gonna be like a
And
loot
Lord
council
General's
item.
sword.
And
Right.
Just specific items that cause issues if not handled properly for X amount of reasons, and it's not going to be like a favorite, like a what's it called, popularity contest either when it comes to the loot council. The loot council is going to be a set of parameters like that you need to meet of each of these things, and if you meet these criteria, then you'll be eligible based off the loot council thing, and it's outside the DKP value. So, not meaning you're not going to spend DKP for that item, but just means that you may end up going negative because you got an item, but that means you're not going to not get it. So if you just happen to get something and we go do progression and that something sick drops, it's not going to not go to you if you deserved it just because you don't have the DKP for it, kind of thing.
And let's be honest, like gear is important in vanilla, right? For your DPS, but also your skill kind of outweighs gear requirements sometimes.
With how
for
well we're
some
going to
part.
be able to scrutinize people playing, I assume
look at
if everything's
Serena.
integrated with
Right,
like
exactly.
WoW, if it's going to be like World of Logs type thing, I'm going to be holding skill and everything accountability way higher than just because you're a nice guy. Whatever.
Right.
I'm going to expect people to play well because it's going to be right there. I'm going to be able to live log you.
But I'm hoping we're able
if you
to
did it
sync
right.
the actual logs to like your current gear. Like you might have half the gear as the other guy you're competing against, but still almost like pulling the DPS that he's pulling where he shouldn't be, or he should be doing a lot more. And we should be able to see that.
Well, yeah, if it's logged the way that it's logged now, there's percentile as well. So you put in a percentile based off of your class and item level.
Right. And that would kind of help at some. I mean, obviously, in vanilla especially, there's some items that are a lower level, but there's far superior.
Sure. I just mean there's ways that they can track percentile. They can tell you where you should be at this point. You can sim DPS. There's going to be so many tools available if this is the way I think it's going to end up being, that people aren't going to be able to just coast by or say they didn't do something or say it wasn't them, because I'm just going to live log it and watch your character run over to this spot right on the screen, and I'll be able to tell you did this, casted this ability at this exact second.
So, you think they're going to record it?
I guarantee it. Well, if it's anything like it is now, like a retail, they have World of Logs, and that's essentially what it is.
I think in TBC there was the ability to basically record your combat log and then take it after you logged out and post it. So it was early on in game available. So it wouldn't be. I wouldn't think it would be like, unless they're actually just doing a straight base, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be updating a lot of the back end code for
They're
vanilla.
putting it on the hardware. I'm assuming it's just by them doing that alone, it's gonna be everyone's gonna be able to integrate all their crap into it.
I'd like to welcome Jay Cutler to the meeting. Welcome, Jay.
Who?
The meeting can begin.
Nerd.
What's up, Jay?
Michael!
He shows up to the meeting like he does raid, but hours late.
He was putting his kid away or something.
Yeah, man, putting him in the drawer. Like,
Putting him under the stairs.
Yeah, but yeah, the loot thing, we're gonna definitely be talking to everyone a lot more about, making sure that like best in slot list is extremely accurate, like to the exact class and no discrepancy. So when the item drops, we go to the list, we say these classes, and it's not like it's just well known. Certain items will be well predetermined, and if people happen to want to work out loot amongst classes and just kind of realize that these pieces are going to drop, and if we can get them all worked out, we can get our loot going way faster. Raid goes faster, it could be much better. But
yeah, that's what I was saying. Ideally, we have, even though we're on a system that you can decide on the fly for the most part, ideally it'd be best if we like predetermined or already knew if this drops, it's more than likely going to go to this person or that person. That'll keep the speed of actually clearing stuff, because I mean, when it comes down to it, vanilla, you don't, again, you want to do molten core until you get a few of those best in slot items off rag, and Thunder Furies are very important in Nax.
We gotta have something in place where like you're the next person in line for DFT. You can't snag like 2 important pieces of something else and then still get that DFT.
Well, if those are 2 important pieces where they're loot and council, it won't happen. But if they're DKP items, they're all more than welcome to get that. That was my main point. I said that.
I mean, I guess after those things, you won't really be able to get anything for a while anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So you mean like getting chromatic sword and Ashkandi's in the same run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely not, because I'm pretty sure both of those items would be loot cancelled.
Ash cannon, not really.
We also need to make sure that
Horde side's pretty good.
New people are
Oh, yeah, I
aware
forgot
of
we're
this
Horde two-handers
system.
Well, that's the thing is they're gonna. I already said, I was talking to Pro about this before, and he I think he liked it. Like, I want people to have to agree to like the loot system, like to like not just have you read it and click yes. Like, I wanted to make it like one of those like caption things where you can't actually move past if you actually haven't gone to the thing and looked at it and agreed to it. And
Or
and I
answer the
want to really,
questions
like, I really want
specifically.
to. Like, I really want it to be well known. Like, this is the loot. And if you do not agree to this, don't join this guild, because you're not going to be happy with the loot like outcomes if you're not happy with this. But I also want to make sure it's fair for people that come in. Like, we have to really find out a system of a catch-up system, or at least some sort of idea of like what's an acceptable amount of time to be in this guild without ever receiving an upgrade that isn't just defaulted to you.
Most guilds in vanilla was 2 weeks.
Before what?
If we do a veteran rank, we should
Before
do
you
like
were eligible
3
for
months
loot.
though.
That's not what I said,
At
though.
the same.
He's talking about catching up. So if you join us 3 months in, like Aniva has 1,000 DKP, he can literally get every item.
Yeah, you're only
going to
get defaulted items that no one wants. Like, how long before is acceptable for that person that he should have an ability to be able to actually.
Well, that's the
get
veteran
something.
rank, right? That's like pretty much figure out what makes someone a veteran rank. I'd say 2 or 3 months.
Well, but he's not talking about the rank. He's talking about, let's say you move up to veteran rank, but you still only have 400 DKP and the other guy's got 1,000. You're never going to catch him.
Yeah, no matter what, because most likely that other guy's always going to make raid.
But we could also, we were talking about putting in like, once you hit a certain threshold, then you start getting like a % of your total decayed or something like that, which has worked for other guilds and other people.
What about donations?
You could just have
well,
a cap.
yeah, we were going to talk about doing a donation part of a daily or a weekly DKP. That was the other thing I was thinking, was if you like with the cap thing they were saying is certain things you couldn't gain, like, because we were talking about gaining extra DKP in raid. So like say you came fully consumed, you came with all the things we asked you to come, okay, you get that default DKP, you came on time, ready, blah, blah, you get that DKP, you killed certain bosses, you get that DKP, if you donate a certain amount of items in the week, you get that DKP, and whatever items we think of, you can make it to the point where if you're X amount of DKP, you don't gain DKP from doing these certain things, but you will still lose DKP if you don't come raid prepared, blah, 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 blah. So, and then the other people can still gain DKP. So, a new person joins and donates a whole bunch of shit. He could catch up. Or maybe make it so they don't have a cap, so they could donate as much as they want and gain unlimited DKP for X amount of time. I don't know. That's all I was thinking. We got to try and figure out something to make it more enticing for new people to join the guild when they see a loot council, or not loot council, when they see a DKP guild, they're just going to be like, okay, well, I'm never getting anything unless it's no one wants it, which is.
You know, I never had that like mentality when I was playing vanilla.
Well, part of the thing was like
retail.
Some people would build up a whole bunch of DKP, but most people would spend it.
Sure, but there'll be a point where you won't, like, especially in a new content, like if we pick up a bunch of new players right for AQ, most likely you're gonna bank a whole bunch of stuff like Black and White or MC DKP, and you're gonna go in for the first couple weeks and take every good item that drops.
Yeah. Then you might say like, well, let's do it based on instance. That kind of works, but then at the same time, I spent 5 months in Blackwing Lair. This other guy spent 0 months, and I don't get like some sort of like benefit in AQ. I mean, I should still have like some sort of. But yeah, that's where Val's saying if you have like this other rank or this like, you know, best rank, then maybe you get privilege.
Well, how do you not have that rank? Like if I'm donating and I'm a veteran in the guild, I've been here forever.
Yeah.
I've been showing up all the time.
And then one of the issues is everyone has the rank. Then what, you know?
Well, that's what I mean. You can't put a rank like that in and actually mean anything. It can't mean anything more than just a privilege.
Unless only 10 people can be that rank at a time.
Well, that's the point. How do you down rank somebody? Like the first 10 people that make it, per se, those first 10 always do what they need to do. I mean, how do you tell a person? Okay,
and then how do you say like
special rank?
You give them a point system per week. It's kind of like a DKP per week, right? So like, if so and so came to raid, if all 10 people came to raid Flasked and the 11th person also came to raid Flasked, but then that 11th person donated like 5 Black Lotuses, it would bump the last one to make the
sounds
list.
like
you
a
know
good
what
way
I mean?
to create animosity in the
Yeah,
guild.
I think it's pronounced low tie.
I was just saying
think
that's how that would work.
I wouldn't like the whole other rank.
I don't
unless
say
it's
that's how I
like
like
a fairy
that's
tale
how I
rank
would
where
like
it's just
it.
like it's just like you just get it. It doesn't give you
You're
anything better.
special. Here you
I would
go.
think
like,
that
you've been in
once
here
you
a
get to
long
the
time,
point
you
where
put in the effort.
everyone's a veteran rank, you have a full guild, and it's not an issue.
Well, that's the way I would look
That's
at it
true, too.
exactly.
I
If
mean,
you
that
had
might
every-
make some weak-minded people happy, but I mean.
No, I agree with Val on that. Like, if you actually managed to make every person a veteran rank, that would imply that everyone's doing exactly what they're supposed to do when they come to raid, which is kind of what you want in the end. Like, you want everyone on the same page. You want everyone donating. You want everyone showing up fully consumed, doing what they're
But
supposed
that's
to do on
just
raids.
the point of a raider rank.
Right, and that can be what we do as our next step as to how we're going to treat you going forward. Like, do we think you're a long-term player? Do we think you're just somebody that's putting in that initial 2 weeks and, you know, you're just a raider to us, or are you a veteran raider to us? Are you someone we think is something worth keeping forever? And maybe
What are you
when
gonna have,
bring-
like 40 ranks?
Well,
no,
I'm thinking
the
we're gonna have
veterans
more than
really for
40
like
players.
the easy decisions on loot council. So like if you spend a whole bunch of DKP on just random items, and then somebody just gets promoted to raider, and they happen to have 10 more than you, and you know the good item drops, that you know DFT or whatever.
It'd be loot
Somebody
council.
who's only been in for 3 weeks isn't going to get it over if somebody's been in for 3 months.
That probably wouldn't happen anyways because it would have been loot council. But yeah, I agree with that anyways. But that should be raider. Like a raider should be able to get something.
Real important question, real quick. Is WorldStar gonna be joining us later?
I hope so.
We got to get
Warlock,
whatchamacallit too, Father Tommy and Papa Blaze.
Oof.
I'm okay with Father Tommy.
I was gonna say I would take Father Tommy, and I would
He
take.
can get us
Hero,
900
but...
people in guild.
Yeah.
We have 18 raiders, 18 groups running?
Yeah, just
Well,
tell Abide to start streaming. Like, get all his like 3 followers.
Well, that's the one thing to
Like-
keep in mind, though, is I don't want to have 39 or 38 players in this guild. I was hoping to have anywhere
They were
50
going for
to 60
33.
players. So having that other rank to strive for, giving you that sense of guarantee, because you may be a raider and you may sit out for somebody else, but if you're that veteran raider, you may, never see that bench because we want to keep you in because you're a veteran raider is doing exactly what he needs to do all the time. So that could be an incentive to be.
How many
Possibly
people have
32.
really stuck around for more than 3 or 4 months anyway, besides most of the people in this channel, save for a few people that aren't here?
Well, if you look at all of his graphs, it's usually close to 80% of our raid.
Everybody except for Jay Cutler.
What?
Most people stayed on
Yeah.
dogs anyways. We kept almost the majority, or the 28 or the 29 people that showed up. All the
I
time,
haven't
or
left
nearly
this.
100%.
I haven't left raiding since I started with you guys.
Well, yeah, every server we've been on
Yeah, I
since
didn't
I've
see
been with the
anything
guild,
about
there's
a
usually like
campground in this.
There's
Oh,
always
yeah,
a floor.
yeah.
yeah, but so we usually pick up like 5 or 6 people on that server, and then when we leave the server, we lose them. But they usually stay for the whole server.
Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping for. Like, I'm hoping to get that sense again, or 3-4 months in. And also, I think people are going to stay around longer just because it's not like is like Max coming out. Oh, we gotta wait another year for shit ass scripted Max. Like we know this is coming. We know it's going to be scripted properly, or at least can be fixed by people that know what they're doing. Or I don't know. I think it's going to be a different mindset on the server than what we've normally.
Can't
dealt
wait
with.
for that
People are
post
paying.
Max content.
Like, people are paying to play this time too.
Right. Which is my big thing. Like, it'll be great because everything
Oh,
that
we
you
have to
do
pay
is,
for it?
Oh yeah.
everything you do is going to be saved, and it's going to have meaning if you think games have meaning.
Well, and you have an actual chance of being not seen. It's not like you're going to probably be, there's no MLG for Classic WoW, but you could be the top player in the world of your respective vanilla class.
Hey,
and
Val was
actually
saying,
be
they
properly
might
ranked.
bring some sort of speed run thing, like, and put you on
Absolutely.
the game's done quick.
Yeah, summer games done quick,
know?
speedruns. Who knows?
Let's do it.
Like, it's the sky's the limit of really what this game could end up being, depending on what kind of player base it draws. Like, if I see them drawing, equivalent to retail, I can see them trying to revamp or add to the PvP system to make it more esports, and then
Arena.
well, that's probably where they'd go.
Everyone's
with
gonna be
it,
playing Rogue. That'll be fun.
Or Shaman.
Nah,
Enhancement
Lock
Shaman.
Rogue.
Frost Mage.
Lock Rogue would
Warrior Parry. Warrior Parry would destroy all.
Yeah, Warrior Pally would be pretty good.
He's pretty fucking OP, though.
Especially with like spell reflect shields.
That...
Or the spell reflect trinket.
Message sent.
And shit, in vanilla, low black would be pretty nasty too.
The link I
Is
just
somebody in
posted,
that well?
yeah, it's pathetic.
Jimmy?
Says no questions.
You
my
should be
thing
able
fucked up?
to ask
Yeah, it
questions.
sounds really muffled, pathetic.
Is that better?
Who are we asking a question?
It's just part of the presentation tools. I don't know. It's just messing with it. It's more like you're asking the presenter a question, and then if they feel inclined to read the question and answer it. I'm not. These questions. First question, why?
My question was better. I mean, Anonymous's question was better.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You can present it too.
Present them.
Yeah, are you
I asked
gay?
Yes, that was my question. Just wondering. You can leave a detailed answer.
I
Why
clicked
can't
the
I see these questions?
I clicked the thumbs down and it gave it a thumbs up. What the?
It knows how you truly feel.
But okay, so that was Chubbins. I'm
Me.
not gonna go down through everyone else. Is there any other pressing like questions or?
What are your raid times?
PM.
They're perfect because the maintenance is on Tuesday.
So you said you're gonna raid Saturday and Sunday? Oh, sweet.
And that might be like a weekend thing, like we did on Nost, like a Saturday night or Sunday night, or.
I wish we could do off-night raids at later times, because I could raid 7 days a week if we could do it.
Heard that before.
All right.
When you were talking about Chronos 3 and you said you weren't gonna take it seriously, you're totally lying. You're gonna get so into it. You're gonna be like, yeah, we're not gonna raid, and then you're like, all right, guys, let's get a raid going.
I'm not playing on that.
Val, we need a tank for this VOA 25.
Well, it's still almost 2 months out.
So it's 7 months from release to BWL. Doesn't that seem like too much?
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot.
No, because originally MC wasn't released, so.
It just seems like a crazy amount of time.
Yeah. Well, considering the news, it seems like if it was if there was no Blizzard news, it wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why originally, like I was saying, it's more like for just re-getting into it and kind of miss vanilla. And hopefully Blizzard announces it soon, but I mean, it could be a long time still.
After Battle for Azeroth.
Maybe this is a dumb
Yeah.
question, but who's gonna be the GM?
Like the game master?
Rusty.
Chubbins. Yeah, Rusty. He's got a trombone.
It's Rusty.
I vote Millar.
Whew.
Nice.
Hey, it's Vic.
Hey.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whatever.
XD.
Start recruiting on the forums.
Well, I don't think they have forums dedicated to that yet.
They have a classic forum.
Yeah, but that's all just discussion. Classic.
You lose like 10 IQ a minute when you're in there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad sometimes.
I haven't really read it. Is it? What does it seem like? Is there way too much like quality life plebs in there?
Well, you get retail people in there telling you that get over it, it's not happening.
To say get over it's not happening?
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my God, I hate
constant
people.
trolling, dude. Constant.
Like picture an entire forum full of Alexian, do you?
I would love if they just
Oh my
had,
God, I forget them.
If they
I
just
totally forgot them.
if Blizzard said, "Hey, log into your account," you had to have like maybe even up to TBC, like your account had to have been that old, like 2006 or 2007 or something. And if you meet that criteria, fill out this questionnaire. It's 100 questions, multiple choice, and then take that and then.
It's a great business model.
I also think their log-on queue should be based on the length or oldness of the account.
Length of.
Mine would be Insta.
Right.
Yeah.
The older your account, you jump up the queue.
I think yeah. I'd be getting in right away.
But yeah, lots of fun stuff, and we'll continue the discussion. Next month we'll have hopefully the website going. We'll, if you haven't already checked it out, I'm sure I'll get the link out there for what classes people are thinking of for their mains and alts. Eventually, we're gonna want to obviously get professions and like that sort of stuff starting to iron out. Are we looking too much into this? You know, no, I don't think we are. It's
like
vanilla. It's what we've been looking forward to for
vanilla
a long
is
time.
a lot of logistics.
Mhm. So if you're thinking that you're looking too far into it, I don't know. Like we're basically looking to be. Most of us have done the content, done the stuff. We want to be at the cutting edge, or at least like be in that bracket of trying to
Terry
compete
joined.
for it. We think that would be a lot of fun, or I think it would be a lot of fun. But again, I mean, we could be talking about something that's like 2 years out or a year and a half out. Still, I mean, there's still potential for it to be out like next summer, but there's also potential for this summer or the beta soon, or
I don't understand why they need a beta.
well, depends on. I mean, if they're updating a lot of the backend code, a lot of stuff is prone to breaking. So they would want people to test it out. Like now, whether it's going to be an internal, like you must have like a Blizzard, you know, like employee or Blizzard employees and friends testing, or open to certain people.
$50 you get to do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would do it.
I'm really hoping that they more do this for the love of the game, not for, you know, that's what they initially said, you know, in that interview. Was like, if there's 1 million people, that's great. If there's 10 people, we're still going to do it. And I'm really hoping they stick to that and that sort of mentality.
Like I said, I'm psyched for post-Nax content once becomes super popular.
Yeah. And you know that it's going to be popular and they're going to inevitably do expansions. At least probably TBC and probably Wrath, because they're very popular. Alright. If nothing else, we will conclude the meeting with a
1, 2, 3.
There you go.
I approve.
And you guys should come and hang out more.
Yeah.
For